Eugene Debs was a socialist, a revolutionary, and probably the most effective and popular leader that the American working class has ever had.
Debs for president!
Let the wealth of the nation belong to all the people and not just the millionaires.
Production for use, not for profit.
Workers, stand together!
He believed rather that much of human suffering was caused by an irrational and cruel economic system, capitalism, which functioned not to improve the quality of life for all the people, but simply to enrich the bank accounts of the few who owned and controlled the economy. Men such as John D. Rockefeller and J.P. Morgan. And Debs believed that there could be no fundamental solutions to the problems facing the vast majority of the people unless the capitalist system was overthrown and replaced by a socialist economy in which the working people took over the means of production and worked for themselves rather than for a boss.
Over and over again, Debs raised the same basic issues as he denounced the capitalist economic system and fought for the socialist revolution.
Why should working people support the Socialist Party? Because it is the only party unequivocally committed to their economic interests, to the abolition of the wage system and the freedom of the worker from exploitation and every other species of servitude. Let no one charge that socialists have arrayed class against class in this struggle. That has been done long since in the evolution of capitalist society. One class now owns the tools while another class uses them. One class is small and rich, and the other large and poor. One wants more profit, and the other more wages. One consists of capitalists, and the other of workers. There can be no peace and goodwill between these essentially antagonistic economic classes, nor can the class conflict be covered up or smoothed over. The workers know that under Republican rule and Democratic rule, conditions for them have remained unchanged. They know that under the administration of both, depressions come, that unemployment is certain, and that many of their number are doomed to drift into poverty and crime, and finally end their lives as beggars, suicides, in prison cells, or on the scaffold. They know, too, that under both Democrat and Republican rule, the president is on the side of the capitalists, that the governors are all on the side of the capitalists, that Congress and all the state legislators respond to the demands of the capitalists, that the courts are uniformly with the capitalists, while soldiers and injunctions and jails are for the exclusive benefit of the workers. In capitalist society, the working man is not, in fact, considered a man at all, but as a wage worker is bought and sold on the open market, the same as hair, hide, salt, or any other merchandise. In capitalist society, the owner can pay a worker as low a wage as he can get away with, and then fire him the first day that he can no longer make a profit off of his labor. Is that what freedom is about? Or is that what slavery is about? Wage slavery. You, as workers, do not need the capitalist. He could not exist an instant without you. You would just begin to live without him. You do everything, and he has everything. And some of you imagine that if it were not for him, you would have no work. As a matter of fact, he does not employ you at all. You employ him to take from you what you produce, and he faithfully sticks to his task. If you can stand it, he can. And if you don't change this relation, I'm sure he won't. We need in this country and throughout the world an economic system in which the working people own the means of production, and in which we produce goods and services for the use of all, and not for the profit of the few. Under socialism, men and women will work not as slaves as they do today, but as free human beings, determining what is produced and how it is produced, and will take satisfaction and pride in their work, knowing that they and their children will be the beneficiaries of their labor, and not some capitalist parasite who has a piece of paper declaring himself to be the owner, although he may never have done a productive day's work in his life. The workers are the saviors of society, the redeemers of the human race. And when they have fulfilled their great historic mission and have overthrown the capitalist system, men and women can walk the highlands and enjoy the vision of a land without masters and without slaves, a land regenerated and resplendent in the triumph of freedom and civilization.